There was a time when Indanites ruled the land and their dragons soared the skies.
The Nether, 1,000 strong, march toward the strongholds. Soon will the end be razed to a blazing ruin.
I only wish to protect the artifacts.
Word has reached me that Dire Shield has been taken by Sacrosara forces. I hate to call upon you so suddenly, my friend, but I must request your assistance. Dire Shield is too great an asset to lose.
Songs of War was a story I've been wanting to tell for years, even before I was creating Minecraft animations.
Levaslier has been a passion project of mine for the past 6 years. Turn on this real quick and then turn on this real quick. Here we go. Yo, what's up, survivalists? It's Chafe, TeamWnJ here. Welcome to the Black Plasma Studio X Rainimator X TeamWnJ collab. Nice to see so many people here.
Welcome.
How do I introduce you guys? I mean, most of you guys watching right now already know Rain and Black Plasma. You probably know their channels, but you might not know who's behind the channel. So, guys, you want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah.
Who's
Hello,
first?
it's me, Rainimator.
Rain, go first. Rain, go first.
Alright. Oh, hello everyone, it's me, Rainimator. I make, if you don't know me yet, I make a saga of Minecraft music videos. So we're currently at season 2 of my series, so yeah.
There you go. And Black Plasma, we've specifically got Arbiter. Should we refer to you as Arbiter or David?
You can refer me either. Yeah, most people probably know me as Arbiter.
Yeah.
Like Animation Life, Blocking Dead, some of those animations, and I'm currently working on Songs of War.
Yeah.
Where I changed my name to David, keep it a little more professional. But yep, it's
sure.
Number 617, David.
Yep.
Call me either.
It seems like everyone here is already hyped up. So here's what we're going to be doing in the stream today. First of all, we're not going to be animating anything during the actual stream. We're just going to be talking about animation and the stuff that we do, and why we do a lot of the stuff that we do. Second of all, we want to be able to inspire a lot of you guys to be able to make animations as well, because I know a lot of you guys look up to us as animators or as storytellers, and we want to be able to kind of kickstart you into making something awesome as well. Also, a lot of people are wondering about COPPA and the recent YouTube regulation changes. We're going to touch on that, but none of us here are lawyers, so it's not like we can give you a very strict like guideline on what exactly to do.
Yeah, it'll just be our opinions, probably.
Yeah. And how should we ease into this?
However you want.
Sure. I need to figure out, right? Because okay, guys, right before the stream started, I was asking everyone to get into the voice chat so we can start talking, and then Rain goes, my computer has died.
Yeah. So I can't really produce any animations until I get a new one. So, well, it's not a bad thing because I'm.
What happened to all of your data?
Oh, I can just recycle the hard drive for a new computer, so it's not a biggie.
Dude, you almost lost everything.
Nah, I'm confident with it, so I'm fine. Besides, even if I don't recover the hard drives, I have lots of external hard drives that have my files.
Right.
So yeah, I'm good.
Do you guys use things like Google Drive to like sync things automatically?
I use Google Drive just to upload like all the excess files I need to send to other people. But I don't have enough drive storage space to store everything.
Yeah, I only use Google Drive for like the really important stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I started this series, I made the automatic sync, so every time I'm like editing these scenes and stuff, it automatically syncs it up in case like, you know, my hard drive just completely dies. I also have it all backed up.
Right. A lot of people are asking for Rain to show your face. Is that a thing that you can do? You can say no.
I already
It's completely up to you. It's just I see a lot of people asking that.
But my Instagram already exists, so
Yeah, I
you can
know.
just check it out.
Right. Apparently, if you also type into Google
my Instagram's
Rainimator, we
linked
can
to my
see his
YouTube
face.
channel.
What'd you say?
Oh, my Instagram's linked to my YouTube channel, so
Well,
yeah,
there you
if
go.
You guys...
Yeah. So yeah. If you guys want to see Rain's face, his Instagram is linked on his channel, or you could do what I did and just Google it because he pops up right there.
Wait, really?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, I look differently now than I look on Instagram.
What okay? If you Google Rainimator, the first picture that
Yeah,
pops
Rainimator
up.
face reveal.
Yeah, no. The funny thing is that you have like you had the same haircut as me at some point. And there's a site.
My haircut is far from that now.
there's a site dedicated to logging down different YouTubers and their faces. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo. I googled up Rainimator face, and the third result is a Rainimator love story on Wattpad.com.
Yeah, we can read that to people while they're.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, what is this? Hey guys, this is a love story that has been inspired by Rainimator, the YouTuber that animates Minecraft music videos. Jesus. Okay, anyway. And yeah, I know, guys, I'm the only one on face cam right now. I'm not sure if anyone else. Arbitrator, do you want to show your face as well?
No, I don't think I even have.
No?
access
Okay,
to that
cool.
now.
Yeah, guys, it seems like everyone else's face cams are dysfunctional. We're just gonna have to stare at my face for now. Hey.
I mean, when I finish setting up my laptop, I can open my face cam.
Yeah, sure. We do have, if you guys want to share screen or anything, if at any point you want to show something as well, there is a link that I sent on the chat that you can click on, and that will allow you to share screen. If needed. Anyway, gotta ask. Songs of War. Everyone's asking for Songs of War Episode 2. When is that coming out?
December 7th.
December 7th, Songs of War.
We were going to do them weekly, but we wanted to get them coming out a little sooner. If we were doing them weekly, we'd have to wait pretty much till January before we would have been able to start releasing. So we decided to start releasing a little earlier, so you can have them before Christmas.
Right.
Then keep my promise. I said I was going to come out. I said I was going to do it in 2019 no matter what. So we did. So it's coming out in 2019. And then it's going to be a little more... Oh, someone's saying my voice is a little quiet. I might turn myself up just a little.
Sure.
Reading some of the chat stuff as well. Yeah, so that's coming out December 7th, and then every episode will be every 2 weeks. I think it ends around late March.
While we were talking by ourselves, like one of the first things that I asked you was, when did you start Songs of War?
Long time ago.
Right?
Back
Long
the
time
this,
ago.
yeah, this story stuff, man, that started back in 2013 was when like some of the ideas were being thrown around, and it wasn't until we started doing Minecraft animations that were like, oh, you know what, this story that I had thought of ages and ages ago was like we could adapt this to Minecraft, and we started building the whole world. We made this whole set, and thing kind of grew and grew, and then we started animating it last year was when things really began.
Right.
2018.
Because I apparently we go quite a way back. Not that we knew each other, but I used to watch your Halo videos when you were still doing those.
Yeah.
And
Back to Machinima days.
Yeah. So people watching the stream don't know this. When I was like a young little kid starting my channel, I watched Rain, and he made a video showing how it was like there was a beach, and there were like people running up this beach, but there were like an entire army of people charging up the beach. I'm like, how did he do that? And he shows a behind the scenes video of him like after effectsing a bunch of people coming up on the beach, and that's the one video that stuck in my mind. A few years later, and now I'm working with the guy. And you also said that you started Songs of War, or you had the idea of Songs of War in Halo as well, didn't you?
Yeah, it was going to be, so yeah, for the people who are just now hearing this, yeah, we used to do the Halo Machinimas back in Halo 3 and Halo Reach, and when Halo 4 was coming out, we were going to make what is now Songs of War. That story was going to be told in Halo 4, but then as the game came out, it was kind of missing the stuff we needed, and something like Minecraft seemed a little more... Minecraft's a great game because it has, you can design any skin you want. You can build the worlds as big as you want. You can make the castles however you want them to look. And we had pretty much total freedom to make the whole universe to scale. All the, original species, the original sets and everything, and we just basically adapted the story into what is now Songs of War.
Did you also say that you were going to release the world so that everyone can play on it or something? Or was that like a server thing?
Oh no, we'll definitely release it. Yeah, so that's another thing. If you don't know, the world that you've seen in Songs of War, if you watched episode 1, there's all these different pretty shots of mountains and stuff. All of that is part of one giant world. There's no shortcuts. We didn't just make a few sets. We built the entire world, everything between all the paths and everything.
Nice.
And we're going to, at one point, for sure, definitely let people either explore it. What we would like to do, I mean, this is more kind of hopeful thinking, we would like to have a kind of like mini MMO kind of thing where you can like get on there, choose your species, choose your kind of faction or whatever, and have like maybe little dungeons you can do and earn some coins and gold or something, and turn it into a little bit of a game. But that's hopeful thinking.
When I had the same idea for Lev as well, because I also built the entire world in Levaslier. I had this idea, maybe you can steal this from me as well, just because this idea is gone. Like, I used to play on the server called Red versus Green, right? And in that server, you have a red team and a green team, and there's several objectives all around the map. And you have to, as green team, you have to go and capture every single objective and then wipe out all of the red teams, and red team has to do the same thing. So if you play Battlefield, it's like the Conquest game mode.
Oh, yeah.
And I was going to do that in the world of Levaslier, so you would have, like, the Lazurian team in Levaslier and the Sacrosarian team, and they'd have to capture this one fortress, and it's just like a small little map for it.
Yeah.
But that entire game mode is gone. I want to redo that mini game, but I don't know who can write that plugin for me.
Yeah, you need like developers. That's the big drawback in all these things. We'll have to find people who are, most of stuff like Songs of War is volunteers. A lot of people who are just interested in the series, they kind of volunteered and doing something like that. Yeah, we have to find people who enjoy the series and have those skills.
Right. That also brings into the point, like, you get a lot of volunteers. Rain. When you animate, are you like, do you animate most of your stuff alone? Because I know you have someone else singing. I know that's not you singing.
Anyone else helping me. Yeah, I don't have anyone else helping me on the animation, so it's just me.
Right. How frequently are you getting your animations out?
I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months apart per episode, I guess.
Proper.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Something like that.
I was about to say.
You don't do this full time, do you?
Sorry.
Rain, you don't do this full time. You were saying you go to school. You have.
No, I'm still a student in college. Like, I'm really more focused on my school than on my YouTube career.
Mm-hmm. That's really fast then to be doing school and still releasing that frequently to that level of detail.
I was about to. Sorry, I was about to say. There's probably a lot of people here watching that wants to get into Minecraft animation. And I've seen a lot of comments saying that they got a bad computer and they can't do the stuff. What?
I started with a bad computer, dude.
Arbiter, you started with a bad computer?
Like,
it was okay.
I remember it was like, I mean, that laptop only ran on like Intel on dedicated graphics card.
Right.
So I can only have like 2 characters in a scene and it lags really badly.
Yeah.
That's
So
how
did
it
I.
started.
I started on like a 2010 MacBook. But also, people are talking about software to start Minecraft animations. Black Plasma uses Blender, which is a free software, but Rain and I both use Cinema, which is paid software. So if anyone wants to start out, there's a thing between.
Oh, I started with Blender actually.
You started with Blender as well?
I started with Blender.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because it's free.
Okay, cool, yeah. I touched Blender in the very beginning, but I never understood the UI, so like I just kind of dropped it.
Yeah, its UI is really confusing. I also tried out Maya. It's a little easier to understand.
What sucks is when people jump to what's the other one called? The one just for Minecraft?
Minimator?
Yeah, Minimator.
Oh, Minimator.
Yeah. What do you guys feel about Minimator?
I've also tried it. It's pretty. It's okay, but it's really limited. Like, some creative people I know, like Skibs, plan to leave Minimator now because he feels very limited. And we told him that with his talent, he can do a lot more cool stuff if he switched to Blender or Cinema 4D.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's something like Minimator. It gets a kind of bad reputation where it's like, oh, you use Minimator, you're not good at animating or something. But something like Minimator to me, there's nothing wrong with starting with something like that. It kind of gives you a lot of shortcuts that you don't need to learn right away. You don't need to know all this crazy stuff about lighting and rigging and all this stuff.
Right.
You can kind of just start making animation. And to me, pretty much any kind of creation, whether it's doing animation or machinima, you're going to learn a lot of things that will help you if you want to later switch software or change around. Like, for example, I was doing machinima before doing any animation, and just doing machinima, learning like camera work, editing, sound effects, all that stuff will still carry over. So I don't never really think it's like a problem of which software you start with, as long as as long as you're trying different things and you're aware of other software, you end up finding whichever works for you.
Right. My thing with Minimator is that I'm always you know how the Minecraft animation community in general has like, if you said that to someone, they would think that it's rather cringy and whatnot. And the reason for that is because when you search up Minecraft animation, and this is before Songs of War came out or anything, most of the time the stuff that comes out on the top few results are like Monster School or some really bad animation by just some like random stuff, right? And I feel like that is a result of people seeing good animation and then trying to do it in something like Minimator because it's the easiest one to use, and then they use it, but they don't really know how much effort is needed to animate, and they actually go into it and they do it and they're like, oh man, this is hard, and they make some really bad animation and they leave it.
Monster School, am I right?
Yeah, Monster School is the main one. Monster School is the main culprit here. Everyone makes Monster School animations and they're so bad. A lot of them are so bad.
You get millions and millions of views.
They do. And that's the worst part. No, the top 5 Monster School animations, bracket Minecraft animations, those ones,
yeah.
Those get millions of views. And
They're just abusing the SEO on those animations.
Yeah, I think what bothers me about most of those is the ones that also start getting the real inappropriate thumbnails.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
like, these are the ones that are just kind of, how low can they stoop to get views? There are decent ones out there. I've actually seen some Monster School where maybe not the best animated and stuff, but they're not like stooping real low. They're just kind of making fun things.
Yeah, and there's nothing particularly wrong with Monster School. Like, the concept is sound. You ask a bunch of mobs to do a certain task. That's a very simple concept. But it's so overdone and it's done so badly that it's just like kind of been washed out.
They're actually putting some NSFW stuff in those Monster School to terrify the children. Like, there's legit this Monster School video I saw. It has like 1 million views, and there's a skeleton and a zombie doing really weird stuff on the table. It really scares me.
That's not right. That's not right. Do we want to call the guy out? All 3 of us were thinking of the same name here. Do we want to call the guy out?
I'll call people out. Yeah, there's
Graphronics?
There's a lot of people that do it.
The guy?
No, I'm not gonna mention names. Okay. Because a lot of people. But everyone knows who we're talking about here. I think one of the worst ones I've seen when I was like a kid, right? When I was like 13 or something, or even younger, maybe I might have stumbled on this on YouTube. This guy made a video where it's like Minecraft Omegle, and Omegle is this chat program where you can talk with strangers online, and you have your webcam on, and in this Minecraft version of Omegle, this dude logs on, and like on the other side is some naked chick, legit, in Minecraft, some naked chick in Minecraft, and that was targeted towards like 12-13 year olds. What the fuck? Like that ain't right. That's where COPPA comes in. I think that's where COPPA comes in, and that's actually useful.
Not entirely. There's
no.
We'll probably get to COPPA later. No, yeah, COPPA's a little different. Yeah, so that's what I thought at first too. There's the whole well, we'll just wait. You want to save COPPA can't till the end?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah, we
You
can
want to save
talk
the
about
COPPA
it.
stuff till the COPPA can go on long.
Yeah,
about
sure.
Let's save that to the end.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Minimator. I was gonna say, the thing with Minimator is that if you learn it and you get good at it, no matter how good you get at it, if you want to write that on your resume, it doesn't stick. Like, I've spent 10 years in Minimator and I'm really good at Minimator. I don't think that sticks. Likewise, if you started with Blender, which is also free software, you could write, I have 10 years in Blender, and then when you graduate university and you give that to someone, that's gonna stand. Like, that means something.
I guess I
Maya
can
even more so.
say I have experience with Cinema 4D.
No, yeah, exactly. Like Cinema 4D, Blender,
yeah.
and Maya have an authority. But I don't think.
But it's mostly Maya because it's like an industry standard. Like even in our
Yeah.
school, they mostly use Maya. No Blender. No. Well, there's Cinema 4D in a few computers, but mostly it's Maya.
Do you feel that Blender's gonna take over Maya?
No. So
Actually, being a free software, yeah. I mean, some big studios already start using Blender. I forgot the name.
the reason I don't think Blender will fully take over is Maya's used for a lot of things like
Yeah, and
commercials.
Blender's open source. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's open source.
Wait, Arbor,
So
what did
really
you say?
dedicated.
Well, Maya's mainly used not just in like animation and VFX. The main thing Maya's used for is like commercials. It's used in those kind of like making all these car commercials and stuff.
I feel like
things
Cinema
that
would be
will
better for
probably
that.
stay Maya.
Yeah, Cinema would be better for that stuff
Yeah.
actually. Like Cinema is marketed to do specifically those commercial things.
It would have to have a kind of shift. The reason I might see it start changing is the Blender 2.8, because they really tried to kind of be a lot more competitive with Maya. A lot of their new stuff is very like a direct competition with Maya. Even their interface redesign was taking a lot of kind of Maya thoughts and stuff and trying to make it more familiar to people so they could switch into it. Also, I think things like was it Epic Game Store that paid the grant towards Blender Foundation?
Yeah.
to try to,
I
like,
did see that.
encourage
Yeah.
them. So things like that, I think, are going to start pushing more people to use Blender, for like indie game studios to use Blender for their games and stuff. That might start making the shift, but I don't know if it completely. I think Maya will stay the industry standard for a while, but I think Blender will be up there. People will start using it in smaller companies, at least, that can't afford Maya.
For sure, smaller companies, yeah. I'm seeing a few comments here from like Mr. Seven and what's this? Homer Marquez asking, have you guys seen anything by Mr. Fudge Monkeys?
Hey, his work is pretty cool actually. I've seen his work.
Yeah, I like his stuff as well. Wait, Arbor, have you seen it?
Is he Annoying Villager?
Yeah, Annoying Villagers.
That Annoying Villager, I love that.
I think the storytelling there is good, but like, I don't really like the spazzing. I got something against the spazzing. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah.
He tracks his... Okay, so you select like a joint on one of your rigs, and he'll lock the joint animation and keyframe that to his mouse. So wherever his mouse moves, that gets auto keyframed, and he just like wiggles his mouse around, and then like it just spazzes out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I noticed that, but I didn't know that it worked like that.
It's just
I thought
Cinema
you just put a
4D.
vibrate.
It's just Cinema 4D.
Maybe it's a kind of style. Maybe it like kind of slowly developed and just kind of a style that stuck with him.
I guess. It's so divided in the chat right now. Some people are saying that it's super cringy. Other people love him. Wait, Arbiter, you were also like, oh, he's the guy who puts a fat Herobrine in every single thumbnail.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's mostly just his style on why it's like that.
I think so.
Everyone prefers different styles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also, once you kind of start establishing one thing, you kind of want to keep it a little bit in that style so people kind of recognize you and it's consistent.
For sure. Freddy Saul did subscribe to me yesterday because I was going through my sub counter, and the most recent person who subscribed is Freddy Saul, and we were just talking about Freddy Saul's SEO practices.
Oh, you should have invited him to the stream.
No, he's not on our Discord. He just subscribed, so he just discovered who I was.
I should have invited him to the stream.
Yeah, we should have.
Just like what we were talking about earlier, where we were saying maybe doing like was that maybe before the stream started? We were talking about doing some kind of collab where we like include each other's skin. In one of our first big Minecraft animations, we had Freddy Saul as one of the main characters.
Didn't you work directly with him?
Not fully directly. One time he needed some help in rendering, so I offered to help him render. I've talked to him a little bit, and we had him in a scene as just kind of like a little cameo kind of collab-ish thing. When we usually do our kind of collabs, it's hard for, I know a lot of people always want like, oh, do a collab together. For animators, it's a little harder to like just do a collab because that's like 3 or 4 months you're talking about setting aside to do a collab. So for us, it's always like we'll take someone's skin, put them in the animation. Like Ninja Charlie T, we had him in Sky Wars. We had Freddy Saul in Survival Games. We kind of include other animators in it, and that's kind of our way of kind of collaborating a little bit.
It's also that if you're in the middle of working on something and someone tells you to collab, you can't just like jump ship and go like do something else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the timing all has to kind of line up.
Yeah.
Which is pretty rare.
Xenos Oracle asks, what happened with CubeWorks?
Oh. Well, it's actually, I think the best summary I can give is I got scammed by a really bad MCN practice. I guess that's how I can word it.
Right. And MCNs, for everyone who doesn't know, is the, what's the best way we can say this?
A network, channel network?
Yeah, okay. So back in the day of old YouTube, in order for us to get paid decent money, we had to partner with something called an MCN. And they would take like 60% of your money and keep 40%, and then they'll give you the rest of the money and whatever. And then I think Mineworks was an MC or something like that with Raid.
Yeah.
Basically, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. There was also the other thing. I was gonna say this. Okay. I was streaming on Thursday, and somebody asked what happened to Shaney Lad's channel as well.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, let's save that for Saturday. Yeah. Okay. Shaney Lad's channel.
Okay, so here's a really funny story on how he got his channel to that really high sub count.
Right.
So there's this dude on YouTube that keeps reposting all the Rainimator stuff he finds either on my Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. Yeah. So he immediately built a really big audience. So I got really mad at him because like, hey dude, you should ask permission from me first before doing that.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I'm sorry, Rain. And I was like, I can help you run the channel if you want. And he was like, oh yeah, sure, go ahead, Rain. And when I got the account credentials, I gave them all to Shaney and made him change them. So yeah, that's how Shaney got his 1,000 sub.
So he started his channel with 1,000 subs.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's basically it.
For sure.
Okay. Hang on. People are asking Rain, what happened to Fractures?
Oh, actually, yeah, that's a really good question. Because I was really planning on making a short film about my story, but I guess I got too ambitious and couldn't really find time to push on with Fractures. Yeah.
Right, hang on.
That was the one you did the trailer for?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to push for a film, but I just don't have the time and assets to go for it.
I think Anish was... the last time I talked with Anish Ridge, he was like, I think Rainimator is working on something. He's going to release it in December.
Oh, I think that's the Ender Wish he was talking about.
Oh, okay. Wait, so when did you start Fractures? How am I not aware of this?
Oh, it's like a trailer I uploaded a year ago.
Right, okay. Is it close to Songs of War and Levaslier?
No, it's like an all-out war thing. So it's like basically a four-way faction war. Like every faction has their own stories and they have different goals in how they want to conquer the entire world.
Right, so it is an animated web series, not like some music, right?
Yeah, like it's like a short film that I can put up on YouTube or somewhere else.
Right. Okay. Cool. No, so that is kind of similar, I think, in a way.
And that was gonna, yeah. So you're gonna have like voice acting and everything in that.
Wait, what?
Was there gonna be? There's gonna be like voice acting and everything, and that was.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be like with voice acting, like a complete short film, with voice acting, scoring, everything you can find in a short film.
So you stopped making that because you
Yeah, I had other projects, and yeah, I'm really busy with school.
Right.
That's another.
Right. I think that was for people who are new to my channel. On here, I make my own web series called Levaslier. Here on my shirt, I've been spending 8 years on this by now. And if you like Songs of War, I mean, Levaslier is basically like just that. Except the difference is Arbiter actually made it, and I've taken 8 years, and I'm still on episode 1. And I feel that it's good for us to ask Arby here. I mean, I've already asked you this like in private, but like, how exactly did you? I mean, I don't know how to phrase this.
How did we manage to get it all done?
Yeah, how did you get it all done? Like, what's the story behind like making? I know you got the behind the scenes series that you're gonna be releasing part by part. So if you don't want to reveal too much, that's cool.
Eventually I'm gonna probably do a whole video on this subject.
Yeah.
Kind of on how like the full kind of like an actual production on how we go from nothing to how we go from having 2 hours of series, animated series.
Yeah.
Very kind of short, more broad example or explanation would be. First advantage I had was experience. I had made a bunch of animations prior. I had done things like Blocking Dead, Animation Life. I had done these things prior to get starting experience. Second advantage we had was our channel. Our channel was already pretty large, and we had a lot of people who are, when we could do things like recruit builders and get a team on board. That was, something we were fortunate to have that starting audience. And then thirdly, the biggest fortune is that I had animations like Animation Life. That the good thing about YouTube is if you have a video that's doing well, it continues doing well, even if you just sit around and do nothing all day, which is both a positive thing and can be a negative thing, because if you're not on top of things, it's easy to get lazy. But the advantage I had in that case was I was able to literally for about the last year and a half pretty much work nonstop every single day, all day long on Songs of War without weekends. That's how it got done. It's just day in and day out. I just work on it. We don't really have like weekends. Weekends are just more work days. I took a little short break to do Giant Derp last November, but pretty much 2019, it's been all work. But then on top of that, the beginning of this year, we got the other animators on board. We invited a few animators to help out, and I even contracted them and stuff. So that was actually a little bit of a job.
Right.
But there's an interesting. We do a very kind of what I would call like a pipeline. We have this kind of process where I'll go and I'll kind of lay the scene out in like everyone kind of slides around. It's actually kind of funny to look at it like that. Everyone just slides. There's no animation. The camera work's not detailed. There's no lighting, and I hand this layout to the animators. They then take that and you put all the animation on it. They hand it back. I do the faces, do some polish, and do the lighting. So we have this nice kind of like process that goes, and it's all kind of happening simultaneously.
Right.
And then we just did that all year long, and that's how we got here.
But Nana Muffin asked a really good question on that. It's how much are you paying your contractors? You don't want to reveal exact values, like understandable.
No, I don't mind. It varies between some of the short scenes. Like for the shortest scene, maybe like $50 for some real short scene. For some of the larger scenes, it was a few $100s. I think one of the biggest ones was up to like $450 per scene. But they're not doing like the whole scene. They're only doing just character animation. They don't have to worry about faces. They don't have to worry about lighting. I think that was also a advantage to this, is because we got this kind of pipeline going, we could kind of work more like how a company might work, like Pixar or something, where they have specialists. They have one person who they just do animating. They do that really well, and other people who are better at the other stuff do the stuff they're better at. For example, we have one person who just pretty much does the fight animations. Zillion does all the fight stuff. But I think that's what allowed it to work, because we could each kind of focus on what we're best at. For example, a lot of these animators who help animate are very not as familiar with lighting and stuff, and they can just let me handle the lighting, and I can knock out the lighting in
right,
an hour, where it might take them like a few days.
So you're spending up to like $450 for a big scene, and this scene is like a few seconds long and whatnot, right? Or is it?
Oh no,
is it an entire sequence?
I say a scene would be anywhere between like a 30-second scene to like a 3 minutes was about the longest scene.
Right. Okay.
And then they're just doing the character animation, and we also do provide another way we did this. I guess I could even go into that as far as how it was done. We had to be very smart, and we had to take a lot of shortcuts. I know if you're really into animation, it might be kind of easy to criticize something like Songs of War because we take these shortcuts.
Yeah.
We do a lot of things like we'll make something like a walk cycle, where it's a person walking along, and we can just literally copy and paste that walk cycle onto the character, and they're automatically kind of walking, and then we just slide them along, and now they walk. We also do
Actually,
things like
I've seen people criticize Songs of War just because of that. And they kept saying the facial animations are also lazy as well as the walk cycles. But I tell them it's understandable because, dude, this is a 15-minute video and you have to be smart with your assets and time.
Yeah.
Like, I tell them not everything has to be realistically perfect, you know.
A lot of the criticism is coming from Zaminations over at what's his name, Animation Sins, and I feel like he's doing it just for the entertainment factor, and that's like you guys are cool with it, right? Like he just does a little cool video and whatnot.
He just does that for fun, so we don't really mind.
Yeah,
and even he does that to my videos, and I'm okay with it.
And there is warrant to it, because a lot of these animators, like Zamination, is a very good animator. You know, he can animate way better than I'll ever be able to animate. So I think a lot of the criticism from things come from people who do animation, and they're very, very good at it, and they see us who take these shortcuts, and it's like, oh, that's not fair. You know, they took shortcuts and it's doing well.
Yeah.
But for us, it was always about, like, for us, we were never really, you know, like I was saying earlier, we came from machinimas. We weren't really animators per se. We were storytellers. We wanted to tell cool stories, and we just happened to use animation
as a medium. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly,
I think that a lot of the criticism, I understand that from Zaminations, a lot of it is just like criticism for fun and for entertainment and whatnot, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But for people who legitimately criticize animations for, oh, they took a shortcut by using walk cycles in the background for those 5 characters that are blurred out in depth of field, like, that has no effect on the actual story. So,
yeah, dude, that's exactly the point.
Yeah.
People watch it for the story, not for the...
Not the 5 background characters getting blurred out in the background.
Yeah, no one cares about that.
And same thing goes for a lot of, like, film criticism as well. You know what? Here's the thing. Okay. So I went to film school. I don't know... Arbiter, did you... I don't know what you did. Did you do, like...
computer science.
Computer science. I thought you did engineering or something.
No,
and Rain, you do...
I'm in animation school.
Right, you're in straight up animation. Right, okay, cool. When I was in film school, we had to make films, like, a lot of the time. And what ends up happening is that people from high school make better films than what you will ever make in university. Because in university, they teach you all this, like, artistic stuff, like, oh, you gotta set up the camera angle like this and that so you can tell the right story with the camera angles. But nobody who doesn't have that film knowledge understands that or see that. And people get so obsessed with making sure that, oh, the animation here is perfect or the camera angle here is perfect. And they forget that they have to actually tell a story using their movie. And then when it goes to the film critics, the critics are like, oh, you did really good camera angles here and you use the camera angles to tell a story. And yes, that has some weight to it. But if the average person can't see that, and they're just seeing some, like, wonky-ass camera and it's too artistic, the entertainment value is not there.
Yeah,
and a lot of critics are missing out the most important factor, which is entertainment.
I was about to say, yeah, you're touching on an interesting subject, is the whole, who is your audience? Are you trying to please critics, or are you trying to please viewers? Which, you know, critics may be viewers, but, yeah, like you said, critics might have kind of certain things they look for, whereas an average viewer wouldn't. And it's basically that when we were working on this series, we would look at a lot of things and we would think, you know, would a viewer notice this, or would only like an animator know? There's certain things where it's like, oh, there's, you know, an IKFK blending problem, and a normal viewer won't even know what that is.
No one's gonna care about that anyway.
Yeah, an animator might, and an animator might find a problem with it, but an average viewer wouldn't even know what that is, so they wouldn't even know what was wrong with it. So we try to look at things like that. We try to make sure that a viewer could enjoy it, a viewer could be entertained. Not if something was, like, you know, too jarring, we'd make sure that we do try to tone down a little bit of things, like not make the feet slide too much so they're not, you know, walking on ice. But also a little bit of foot sliding. You know, it is Minecraft. It is a game. In the game, the feet slide everywhere. So
I mean, here's a question. Does a regular viewer even really care about foot sliding? I don't think so.
Hey.
Does foot sliding take away the entertainment value? It doesn't. So I really don't know why this...
To put this into context...
I don't want to mention a name, but there's this dude keeps telling that, oh man, BPS is so lazy, they still have foot sliding for over 4 years. Like, dude, that doesn't take away the entertainment value.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still they're trying to tell a story. That's the one you should appreciate, not the details. You know.
And to put things in the context,
details.
the particular audience that we're dealing with when we upload Minecraft animations, these audiences are the types of people who would give 1 million views to top 5 Minecraft Monster School animations bracket best Minecraft animations. They would give 1 million views to that, and if they like that sort of stuff, that they would watch it 1 million times. We all three of us, we have better quality stuff than that. So I don't think a small tiny little mistake would get in the way of that, honestly.
Yeah, those are the shortcuts you have to take to make these kind of things in a reasonable amount of time. There are things on there. I've seen a few, some other just music videos that people have done in the past over the last few years, where it's insanely impressive. I'm like, you know, it's leagues more detailed than the stuff I would make. But they spent a very, very, very long time on it. I had a lot of people work on it.
Yeah.
To do something like that as like a 2-hour series, that's just it's not possible. You'd be doing that for years and years and years and years and years.
Yeah, for sure. And when you're on, I had a talk with some guys over at this channel called SMB64. I met them over at PAX 2019, and they also have their own animated series. I'm like, oh, how are you guys making this series? Because I have my own series, and it's so slow because I can't make it done. And they're like, okay, you have a triangle where you have to choose only 2, and the third one can't be chosen. It's between quality of animation, speed of production, whatever the third one is. I'm pretty sure one of you guys fill in the third one. I don't remember the third
even
one.
just that, I've seen that in just those 2. Speed versus quality. Do you want it fast or do you want it good?
Yeah, even just that. No. I remember the last one. No, I remember the last one. It's either speed of production, quality of production, or budget. Because if you have $1 million to pump into it, you can make it real fast and real good. But ain't nobody here got $1 million to pump into some random thing.
Yeah.
People are commenting on the faces for Songs of War. Did you see those criticisms as well?
Yeah, I think again that was kind of a stylistic choice.
Right.
Yeah, it's a stylistic choice.
Right.
Yeah, very early on it was a how detailed do we want to go with something like lip sync? Something like lip sync that could take a long time. Do we want that to be something that really slows the series down, or is it good enough? Does it get the point across? I do agree. It's sometimes the very beginning I think was a little jarring, but honestly, as far as lip sync goes, maybe the faces you might still find. As far as lip sync goes, if someone actually had problems with it, which honestly, here's another thing. I read all the comments on the video for the first like 3 or 4 days. In the like 3,500 comments, no one mentioned lip sync was being a problem.
No.
So I was actually kind of surprised when I saw people on like Twitter mentioning it, because in all the comments, no one mentioned it. But even if you did kind of feel it was a little weird, I think it's something you'll warm up to. I don't know. I don't notice it at all anymore. It's just completely. I see the character, I see the mouth moving, and I hear the words, and it just becomes something like you experience.
Same.
So even if there's maybe a little jarring, that was one thing that I consciously took a little bit of a shortcut on to make sure this, like you said, how we got this thing done. We did things like that to keep it a little more manageable over a 2-hour long animation.
Right. Aesthetic Gamer Girl Scarlet 956 asks, why use Minecraft for storytelling? Who wants to start?
Well, it's easy to build the world. That's one of the factors. And Minecraft technically still has a lore, and you can twist it to your own story.
Right.
And it appeals to a really wide range of audiences, so you can, your story can reach lots of people.
Right. Everybody got thoughts?
Naturally happened. Yeah, it was for me. I started doing Halo Machinima because I played Halo, and we were like, oh, people are making machinimas in this. I'll get a capture card and make some machinima. And then for Minecraft, it was through the Hypixel server that we really kind of made the transition. It wasn't really like so much of it like let's do Minecraft. It was more of, hey, we're all playing on Hypixel server. Why not make some Hypixel animations because we enjoy this server? And we did some of those, and then we kind of started doing non-Hypixel animations and just kind of, making some original stuff. And then it kind of transitioned into it a little more naturally. We never really made like this choice that was what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever get questions like, I mean, every single time someone asks me about, oh, why are you doing it in a Minecraft animation style? Do you ever feel like you understand why they're asking it? But like my thoughts on this are like, okay, if I wanted to tell a story and I chose to write it in a book, and I tell people that I'm writing in a book, the first thing they're gonna say is like, oh, what's the book about, right? They're not gonna say, oh, why are you doing it in a book? Like that doesn't make sense to me. Or like if I write a comic, why are you doing it in a comic? Why are you not doing it in like a film? You know, because it's like, oh, I want to do it in a comic. Like, what are you talking about? And whenever someone asks me, hey, why are you doing it in Minecraft animation? I'm just kind of like, what? Because I want to. Like, what? I don't really get it.
I think from someone else who may be considering this, maybe if someone's maybe asking that question for maybe like a should I do it in Minecraft thing, I will say a few. There's definitely some advantages to doing Minecraft. In fact, there are actually a lot of advantages. Some of the advantages are like building these sets is extremely easy compared to, you know, something like Ruby, another series I enjoy by like Rooster Teeth. You know, they have to model everything in the scenes or do paintings, you know, background paintings and stuff, where they need, if there's a building, they need to make a building. They got to model it all out, get modelers, get artists. Whereas in Minecraft, you can begin pretty easily without much like, you know, crazy amount of manpower or anything. You can just kind of go into Minecraft, generate a terrain, import it in. There you go. You got your set. You need your character. Oh, there's already rigs made. Bring it in. Oh, you need some character design, costume design. Just go into like a skin editor, draw some pixels. Now you've got, yeah, exactly. So there's some shortcuts with all that kind of production that save a lot of time. You don't need to be, you know, a crazy character modeling rigger to make your thing get going. You don't need to be a environment artist to model like the environments. So you get a lot of shortcuts. But I will say it also does come with some drawbacks. There are certain things in Minecraft that make it a little awkward. You guys probably both experienced this. Things like the proportions of the characters get a little tricky. You want them to kind of reach forward and pick something up, but their arms are kind of stubby and short and thick.
Yeah.
They try to walk
They
through
don't
a door.
even reach each other for a two-handed grip.
Yeah, yep. That's the problem. Also, I also find a lot of problems with lighting. You guys probably experience this as well, where it's like, because we work in cubes and 90-degree angles, there's a lot of kind of lighting stuff you can't really do. You can't have like nice rim lighting where the light kind of shines over their shoulders, around the side of their head.
Yeah, you can't do that.
It's either all on or all off. There's not really much of a... You can kind of fake it with things like subsurface, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another advantage is that you could actually build the community inside your world as well, just like what you and I are both doing. But when you know, allowing people to join in and explore the world at their own whim.
Yeah. Engage in it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to re-import your world. Like if someone had to do that for Ruby, they would have to take the world, put it into some game engine, and then make sure like the entire game engine works and whatnot.
And program a whole game around it from
scratch. Exactly. Yeah. Good question from Angelo here. Actually, no. Okay, Angelo asking is our community for kids because most people watch our kids. We'll save that one for later. For the COPPA thing.
Sure.
Yep.
Shaney asks, what are some hard moments that you encounter in the progress of creating a full-fledged series? I think this could apply for Rain as well, for your musics. Yeah.
I mean, the biggest obstacle to me is just the stuff I do outside animating. Like I'm busy with school. I still do my own chores, pay my bills and stuff like that. So like every time I get home, I'm always tired. Like I just want to play League of Legends, man. but then I still remember when I get home. Oh, dude, I have to continue finishing this animation. So yeah, I don't get enough rest. And yeah, that's one of my biggest obstacles.
That does lead into someone else's question. How do you find the motivation to continue editing?
I have people.
Sorry, animating, not editing. My bad. Sorry.
Because I just really love what I'm doing, and the people, there are still fans who are willing to wait no matter how long I take in doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of motivates me so much.
Arbiter?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Like you said a little bit, for me, one of the big things is always having other people experience it, seeing people like react to it. For me, it's always been having someone like have an emotional reaction. It was always a big thing for me. Like it's one thing to do something and kind of make someone laugh, and not against comedy or anything. Comedy is great, but for me, something like a comedy, it's a good laugh and you might remember it later as something being funny, but I think the things people really remember are the things that someone might have felt more like emotional connection to, like, oh man, that thing really made me kind of sad,
Yeah.
but then it was happy in the end or something, or very dramatic. Those are the kind of things that, to me, stick around for a long time. If I can make someone have those kind of emotions over something that's it's not real, none of these things we're doing, it's not a real thing. Any storytelling, you're just making up something, but to have people then experience it and react to it and get involved in it, that's always been a big motivation for me. And also just the fact that these stories we tell, at least I think you guys all can experience this, it's like we want to tell these stories in some ways because it interests us. We kind of want to be there in that world. We build this world. We want to experience that world as much as hopefully the viewers will want to experience it. And for us, it's kind of it is motivation to simply just involve ourselves in it and to work on it, and to it's not just a job. It's also kind of like a we're telling awesome stories. It's cool.
Yeah.
I would have expected you to be running into more problems, Arby, because you have more people working on the thing than either of us, and typically that does cause a bit more problems. Like, I don't know, is that a thing?
No, I'd say we've had a pretty solid stuff. I don't. We have maybe like one or two builders that maybe kind of lost interest, and no, even that we never had any like major incidents. One person, I don't want to get too much into the more negative side of things. We had one person at one point who kind of was stealing assets, but kind of claiming them as their own because they were recreating them as one-for-one copies. So they said they made them themselves, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're making these things," and that was about the only real problem we had. Other than that, though, no, it's been great. We've had a pretty good team.
Yeah.
I'd say pretty good. We've had a very good team. I've been very fortunate to pretty much everyone on the team has been very interested in the series. They've been also kind of respectful of the series and not, revealing things. I was most worried about people like spoiling. We had a lot of people the more people you get involved in the project, the easier it is that someone, mentions a little comment about some character that dies or something. But we've been fortunate to not have that happen yet, at least.
My biggest problem with creating us like a team of people and whatnot. So Ninja Killers 94 just asked Rain and myself this. Problems with creating a small team. I don't think NDA, like as in disclosing information, is the biggest problem for me. It's more like for Arbiter it probably is, because you've got a good production timeline and you're getting it done within a set amount of time. But for me, I don't have enough budget to say when I can end it. And so when I get someone on board, like let's say I get a voice actor for one of our main characters, and he expects to get all the voices done within like a year or something. And like 3 years down the line, we're still on episode 2, and he has to go do something else. All of a sudden, my main voice actor has to change from a main character. That's my biggest problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, Rain, are you in the same situation as me as well?
No, because most of my voice actors, I can just contact them on Twitter, like, hey, wanna voice this character for me?
Oh,
I get
okay.
like, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, okay,
Have
cool.
you had any characters that...
And some of my voice actors are my friends in real life, so I can just go to their place and, hey, dude, come on, let's record something for my next video. Like, sure, let's go.
Right.
I'll just buy them food or something. Yeah.
Gerasimos03, the builder, says, is there any way I can help? I think the best way that you can help all of us is by sharing our videos around. Skymint says hi. Skymint is apparently verified. What's going on, Skymint? I see you.
Oh, it's Skymint. Hello, Skymint. What's up?
You know Skymint? I'm not familiar with Skymint.
Yeah, dude.
I
I know him.
You both know him?
Hello,
Oh, I've been called out. Oh, no.
Well, now you know him too.
There you go. Yeah. Waiting for more comments to come in. Anything you two have to talk about?
We can start going into COPPA a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, let's get into that. Okay. Someone asked earlier, because Minecraft's primary audience on YouTube is kids, are we then making content for kids?
No, I mean, because here's the thing. It's just the graphics that appeal to kids, but if you look deeply into the story, like, can a kid understand the concept of war and death? I don't think so. Right?
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Just real quick for people who don't understand what COPPA is, right? Just for everyone in the stream. First of all, none of us are lawyers, so we can't say for sure like what we're about to say is like the absolute truth, right? But COPPA is a new regulation added to YouTube where all YouTubers have to choose between yes, my content is for kids, or no, my content is not for kids. If your content is not for kids, that's fine. If your content is for kids, you lose 90% of your YouTube revenue, which is a big deal. And if your content is for kids and you say no, it is not for kids, right? The FTC can then fine you up to $42,000. That's up to, not they will. No, it's up to maximum $42,000. That's what a lot of people are missing out.
That per video.
Per video, yes, thank you.
Even more.
And the problem with us animators is that it's easy for, you know, if you just hear that definition, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna mark it as not for kids, right? Because my content is not for kids. Okay, problem is, what counts as for kids according to YouTube is
It's so vague.
It's so vague. We were laughing at it for a while. It was like, what was the ridiculous one?
Pets and sports and bold graphics, colorful imagery.
Colorful imagery, bold graphics. Also, the specific words were like, duh. You can't use duh.
Cool. Ask your parents.
Ask your parents?
Yeah.
Oh my god. The main one here is cartoons, animations, any sort of like, oh no, even cereal boxes. Yeah, cereal boxes and toys are all considered
Toys,
for
yeah,
kids.
Toys is a big one.
Yeah. And so if you show any of that in your video, the FTC can say, hey, you've got a cereal box in your background, so this video is for kids. They could say that. And I'm not saying they will, they could.
They could.
They could.
They can, but they don't want to actually.
No, they don't.
They
Yeah.
don't really want to sue any creators in the first place.
Yeah. And also the FTC did hang on. Let me before I go into that. About the cereal boxes thing, the problem with Minecraft animators is that, okay, remember when I said that if you mark the wrong type of video, you're going to get screwed? Okay. If I say that in Levaslier, someone's head gets chopped off and gets sent flying and there's a trail of blood, okay? If you actually watch it, that's there. If I say that is not for kids, which it is not, right? They can then send an argument saying, hey, you're doing this in Minecraft, it is for kids. I'm like, oh, okay, guess I'll switch it to for kids then, right? I'll switch it to for kids, but now because there's blood and gore everywhere, they're gonna be like, hey, that's not for kids. So either way, they have an argument to fine me up to $42,000. No matter what I do. And that's the main problem when it comes to animators. Especially when animators are doing something that's not intended for kids.
Yeah. Do you know the me video?
Yes. Is that on YouTube though?
Oh yeah. That that thing. It fits everything. Flashy colors, cartoon graphics.
So does Happy Tree Friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy Tree Friends and Me are both for kids, technically. We also broke down. Sorry, no, Ray, you sent this to me. Someone made a video, saying that the FTC can't actually go after individual YouTubers because YouTubers are not operators of the site.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. There is that. Okay, so
the new terms of service though, like YouTube really
that's the thing. That's the thing.
Around it.
Okay. Here, I'll put this
But
on the
here's the thing,
reviewers.
you didn't even agree to it in the first place, right?
No, you have to agree to YouTube terms of service in
you
order
have to
to use
agree
it.
when you
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It serves. Yeah.
So let me explain this. On the regulation, on the COPPA regulation, it says the FTC can only go after operators of YouTube. What is an operator of YouTube? An operator is someone who knowingly collects information and can give an option to not collect this information, especially from kids. As creators, we don't have that option. We can't say, hey, YouTube, stop collecting information on the kids' videos, on my video. Like, that's not a thing. So technically, we're not an operator. Whoever manages the site is the operator. So we're safe, right? No, because on the YouTube's terms of service, when you create your account and you sign up for the terms of service, first of all, they can change that terms of service at a whim. Because in the terms of service, it says we can change the terms of service. Okay, second thing, they changed it to have a thing that says if any creator is like legally under attack or whatever, they're screwed, basically. Like, we can't help you. So they take legal ownership of whatever they upload onto the site. Meaning, they've just bypassed that whole operator thing. They said, oh, we're an operator? No. Read our terms of service. These guys are in trouble, not us. They're throwing it back onto us.
But that's actually
we don't wanna
illegal
get
because the
sued
FTC doesn't want YouTube to do that.
Yeah, exactly. That's
We're not the
YouTube.
ones
That's not
collecting
FTC.
the
Yeah, that's not
data in the
FTC.
first place. Yeah.
In fact, FTC says in the regulation that there is a for kids, which is like alphabet videos and like A, B, C. You know, that's for kids.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's like teen stuff, right? Which is what we're doing here. And then there's also stuff in between, where you could have a cartoony art style, stuff that does attract kids. However, it's not meant for kids. Your target audience matters. That's what it states in the FTC. But on YouTube, you only get to choose between these two options. But yes, it's for kids, or no, it's not for kids. So you don't get to choose that middle option, even though it's there. YouTube doesn't give you that option.
But they're supposed to give us that option. So what they're doing right now is actually illegal.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
We have to. There is a. I forgot to link the petition in the description, but there is a petition to fight against this regulation thing, and I think it is working because they are taking more time on it.
They did do an update. What is it, on the 23rd or 22nd or something? FEC did update a little bit. They added that little bit we were talking about the other day. Right.
No, they updated it on the day that we called, didn't we?
Yeah. No, I think it was a little bit earlier.
It was a bit early. Yeah.
Yeah, they did a very, very slight update where they at least addressed the fact that you might have a kind of mixed audience. They said just because you have people viewing it who are under 13 doesn't mean yours is made for kids. But that's all they really said. They didn't really. That still doesn't really answer the question of then are we or are we not for kids. Yeah. But it was a step forward, I think.
The biggest thing right now is intention, which I'm hearing everyone talk about this, so I'm pretty sure there's some like legitimacy to this. But as long as your video has the right intention, you're like, my video is not intended for kids. I did not make this for kids. Then you should be safe. But the fact that we're saying that this could be the case and you should be safe, nobody's sure about anything.
Yeah, no one knows.
And that's the worst part.
Mm-hmm. Earlier you even mentioned like, oh, we're not lawyers. But from what I've heard from lawyers, even they're not sure. They're like, they're trying to read the same. They're reading the same stuff that's just as vague as when we read it. Yeah. And they say, they're not going to know whether or not they will be able to hold us up in court. If we had a lawyer try to defend us in court, if we got fined, these lawyers don't know whether they'll win or lose because it's so vague. It's so vague. Yeah. It's what's going to have to happen, unfortunately, is we're going to go into next year and everyone's going to be kind of panicking. Someone will get fined and then we'll start knowing what's going to happen. Because then that person will be like the first case. We'll see who, we'll see which type of channels are getting fined, which will probably be one at a time, I think. I don't think there's going to be like, 1,000 channels suddenly get fined. And then we'll see what happens after that. We'll see if they get taken to court, and then probably some new, changes will emerge from that. It's important to look back at the FTC has only done 33 different cases over the last since 1998.
Yeah.
So
and mostly actually those are the really bad cases. Like they actually try to exploit kids, which is what we're not doing.
Yeah.
They're all businesses so far. They've all been companies like Google.
They're shady business practices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jack TFB says, so in reality, the FTC is not the primary issue. It's YouTube taking the FTC ordeal to their advantage, which is going too far. I mean, that's exactly it. If YouTube was following the COPPA regulations in the first place, this would not have happened.
Well, somewhat YouTube, but it's more Google. It's more Google.
Google rather. Yeah, Google, because Google owns
YouTube.
Google
through YouTube.
Yeah. It's because Google decided to track this information from kids, which is against COPPA, that COPPA has to go, oh, hey, you guys are doing this thing. We're going to have to revisit our rules. Like, if only they stuck in line. And now they're putting it on us. So,
I think some people are still, maybe by now, COPPA's been kind of ongoing for a little while now. But I think when COPPA first was, kind of coming out, I think a lot of people were confused that COPPA was kind of the whole child unfriendly stuff. But that's not what COPPA is. COPPA is all about like the collecting
Collecting
data,
of data,
side of
yeah.
things. So this isn't trying to stop those channels who are doing the kind of messed up children's content that's really, you know, inappropriate or something.
Yeah.
This is just trying to like stop small, family-friendly, good, honest, genuine channels
Yep.
from having the ads. And I think that's what bothers me the most about this is the people at risk here are YouTubers who are making just genuine good content.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
people who make these like Lego videos, Lego speed builds, their stuff's at risk more than any of us. Like they make toys, it's bright and colorful. It's Legos are for kids and stuff, but they're also for, you know, mixed audience. Those are the channels that are now like, oh, are my genuine good Lego speed videos and, you know, stop motion, am I at risk for making this kind of content? Am I going to get sued? This isn't like about the channels that were doing, you know, all the inappropriate stuff. So now it's, we're
What's
kind of in
also
this-
really aggravating is that some regular random people on YouTube can figure out a solution that works better than what YouTube has currently implemented. I was watching a video this morning by Ian Corzine, the social media lawyer, and Roberto Blake, YouTube expert, certified. And they were like, oh, all you gotta do is, okay, either one of two things. Add that middle option saying my content is like in between, right? Add that middle option. And the reason they're not doing that is because there are so many users on YouTube, and having two options is just ones and zeros. And that's very easy to do. Or like much easier to do than having three options. The other thing you could do is simply say, in order to use YouTube, you must sign in. Making sure that every single person who signs in has to be over the age of 13. And can people fake their age? They're already faking their age. Just don't collect their data if you think they're like under the age of 13. Just don't do that.
Yeah, the place YouTube really messed up, if you go back to like the original case of what happened between, you know, COPPA and YouTube, the reason this all got started is YouTube does have you have to be 13 to make an account.
Yeah.
You know, like you're saying, you have to have the account has the 13 age limit, so they wouldn't have the COPPA problems. So YouTube was saying, oh, you know, all of our users are 13 up. We don't have any COPPA problems. But then YouTube was also saying, hey, advertisers, we have lots of kids on our platform. Come sell your ads to us. We've got, you know, and they were saying all these, you know, statistics on 90% of kids watch more than 2 hours of YouTube a day. And they're saying all these things. And then the FTC saw that and we're like, okay, so you do have kids. You're aware of kids, even though you say you have a 13 up, you know, limit.
I think their quote was saying that YouTube is a very child-friendly platform with kids ranging from 6 to 12.
Yeah.
That's what they said. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then FTC came down on them.
Why would they do that? Like, are they not specifying YouTube Kids? Like, also FTC is like ignoring YouTube Kids. It's okay. Are they ignoring it? No. I think okay. YouTube is still at fault for collecting the kids' data. No, never mind. I don't think FTC is taking YouTube Kids into consideration here, because YouTube Kids does not collect data.
Yeah, no, I think the FTC did mention like, if you're unsure, just have your kids watch YouTube Kids in the meantime or something.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they mentioned it at least once in the conference.
Mm-hmm. Either way, now the worst part is that even if our videos get, like, even if we don't get fined, if our videos get set to child only, we lose the ability for people to, like, add it to the playlist, use our community tab, like or comment on the video or something.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It takes away the core of YouTube and turns YouTube back to just being regular TV.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, we're going to have to see what happens next year.
Yeah. Things might change within this next month as well. They might have.
Yeah, because
for sure.
The FTC is still collecting comments and they're open to change, you know?
Yeah.
Like the petition and the comments are really doing a great job at it.
It was on there's a government site where you can leave comments directly to the FTC as well.
Yeah, that's one I used, yeah.
Yeah, same. But that's not for like kids to go on, because that's like legit talk. Mm-hmm. I saw a few comments going like with like YouTube style comments on the FTC page.
Yeah,
that's pretty great.
Don't go on there and just like rant.
Oh yeah.
Those are pretty great.
So some people have been asking, so what have we actually been doing about this? Someone's been asking, like, are we marking ours for or not for kids? So what are you guys doing?
I'm marking every single one of my videos as not for kids because I swear in 99% of my videos, and I'm considering that not for kids.
Same.
Yeah, so same with us. At first we were a little concerned, because we do have some that are a little more like they have the derp character and they're a little more fun or something.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do though instead, we were initially gonna maybe mark those as for kids and just take the loss on those. But what we're thinking now is we might rebrand a few of those a bit, because the main thing again is, you know, are you targeting children? Are you targeting this younger audience?
Yeah.
So we might take those animations, maybe change the thumbnail around a little bit so it looks a little more, less, you know, bright colors, bold graphics, or whatever, you know, whatever it takes to make it look a little less targeting kids. And then we'll probably still mark everything for not for kids.
Yeah.
The,
You
the
could
jokes,
probably
I don't know if
add
you guys-
something into your description as well, saying this is not for kids, or like
Yeah, I don't know how much that's gonna help. Maybe it's all about like whatever the FTC though. You know, if they think you might have intended it anyway.
yeah.
But we will be doing things like that. Yeah, we will be trying to like you said, kind of rebrand it a little more rather than just doing one or the other. So we'll rebrand it and then say it's not for kids.
Mm-hmm. Skyman asked a very good
spoilers.
question of how can we determine our videos is not for kids?
You can't.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
That's
That's the thing. Yeah, you
situation.
can't.
You can't.
If you have here's how if you film an old man sitting on a couch talking about like Vietnam War in black and white, that is not for kids because there's no vibrant colors, there's no cartoon characters, the subject matter is not for kids, and like literally everything is not for kids there. But who's gonna watch that? You know, like that's not the type of content we make here.
I'd watch that.
You would watch that. Go, support the grandpa. Yeah, so we go support the grandpa. Oh, one of my lights just died. But yeah, no, for us as animators, it's very difficult to say what is not for kids. We just have to say it. Oh, by the way, quick shout out to eAnimation, by the way. A lot of viewers here know that I run my or you might already be in the Facebook group for Minecraft animations. That group was created by Ian, and Ian uses Blender to do his animations as well. He's in the stream right now. He's a great guy. And I highly recommend supporting his content because he also does stuff just like Songs of War and Levaslier as well. So there you go. Shout out to eAnimation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know
my
him. You
friend
know him.
wants to ask a question.
Yeah, most of these people I see around on Discords and stuff or comment sections.
Oh yeah, my friend from Facebook wants to ask us a question because he's tuning into the stream right now.
Sure.
He's like he's a classmate of mine and he wants to ask us advice. What's he asking again? Yeah. What can we give advice for a starting animator?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean in your point of views.
Arbor, you want to take that one first?
Sure. I guess with anything, whether it's animation, you know, similar. I see a lot in our Discord. You know, how do you get started drawing? How do you get started, you know, animating? How do you get started with voice acting? The biggest thing is to just start doing it. I know a lot of people get stuck in the kind of, how do I get started? Where do I get started? Maybe I should watch some tutorials. Maybe I should have someone help me. Maybe I should get a tutor. The best way to learn any of these things is just to start doing it. The more you expose yourself to it, the more you'll know about what you need to know and what you can know. If you're just watching videos forever, you never really. It's very different watching someone else do it than doing it yourself. And if you just open up, you know, like Blender or Animator or pretty much anything that lets you do animation, and you just start moving things around and clicking on buttons, you'll start producing something. I know there's a lot of people that have this kind of when they first start. I see a lot of comments. I used to actually be a teaching assistant at my university, so I actually did animation teaching and stuff. And I know a lot of people that when they're starting to learn these things, they find that they're worried they're going to do it wrong. I hear that get used, like, oh, I don't want to do it because I might do it wrong. There's no real doing it wrong when you're just learning. You can't learn. I mean, you might pick up some bad practices, but eventually you'll get through them and you'll learn your way out of them. So I don't think there's really that like, oh, I might do it wrong kind of thing. If you just start doing it, playing around, making something, and you kind of have like a goal, give yourself a goal. Say, I want to make a little 30-second video of this character who walks across the room, picks up a cookie, and eats it. Give yourself a little goal and just start doing it. And then you'll learn it. Then you set yourself another goal, you make another thing. And the more you start making, the more things you make, you'll kind of just learn it on your own.
Yeah. I have the same approach to that with like a few minor caveats just because, Jesus Christ, Rain, you got like some squeaky shit. It's scaring the crap out of me. What I was trying to say, different people learn in different ways. the way I started animation was because I already had the story that I wanted to tell, that being Levaslier, and I just found that Minecraft animations was a good way to do it. So I went out of my way, downloaded the software, and grabbed some random rig, and I just started doing it. Like, I didn't even learn anything. First thing I did was try to do the first scene without learning anything about animation. I just learned it, like, as I went along, and it was terrible.
Trial by fire.
Yeah, trial by fire, exactly. It was horrifying, and it took me about a year to actually learn how to make a half decent. Like, it took me a year, and I still couldn't do walking, right? And that's what happens when you jump straight in. But either way, now that I'm 8 years in, I do know how to animate to a decent extent. And it's just practice and practice and practice. That's one way to do it. I know that some other people, you need that little kick there. If I tell you go out there and do it, right after the stream ends, here's what you're gonna do. You're not gonna do it, right? And I know you're right there. All right, there are people like that. Okay, no shame in that. However, I feel that if you were to write this down, and this is an actual functional thing you can do. First of all, download the software. If you want to get a free one, go get Blender, right? So write that down. If you want to start animating and you never animated before, step one, get Blender. Step 2.
Rainimator. Honestly, even Rainimator.
Even Rainimator, but what I'm about to say for step 2 is just like to learn animation before you actually animate. That's the advice I would give myself back like a few years ago. I would say get Blender, download Blender first. Second thing you do is learn how to make a brick fall off a shelf. Make an animation where a brick falls off a shelf. And you have to...
Shouldn't we start with a bouncing ball? Because in animation class, that's like the very first thing we're taught.
It's either bouncing ball or brick off of shelf. That's one or the other. I would do bouncing ball might be even simpler. Yeah, maybe you do bouncing ball first and then brick off the shelf.
The bouncing ball also has the squash and stretch principles, which can really help us get started.
Exactly. Because all this is teaching you. The bouncing ball teaches you squash and stretch and how to actually use the software and animate the software. How do you create a ball in the first place? The brick on shelf teaches you how to model a shelf, like a very, very simple shelf, and then how to model a brick, and then how to hand animate a brick falling off a shelf with the right physics. Because a ball dropping on the ground is different to having a brick drop on the ground. They do different things. And then I'd even go a step further and tell you to texture everything and then render it, right? Because that teaches you all you need. You now know how to animate something, you know how to texture something, and you know how to render something. Congratulations, you've made your animation. So my probably step 1, 2, 3, and 4, or 5, but 5 steps to animation. 1, get Blender. 2, animate a ball. 3, animate a brick falling off a shelf. 4, texture the shelf. 5, render the shelf. That would be the 5 steps. I think that's how you get started. Now you know how to do it. Then you can actually start doing whatever you want. Then I'd start jumping in and like trying to start animating Minecraft. Because those tutorials are everywhere. At least you know what you're doing first. Then when you jump into it, you have like a background and you can actually do the thing.
Yeah. Because it's better to learn one program first.
Yeah.
And the principles along with it as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even if you learn like Blender, if you wanted to go into cinema, the principle of the thing is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just have different UIs, but they work almost the same.
Exactly.
You put objects in, you keyframe them, you add textures, render.
Yeah.
That's it. Same thing.
That's what I was saying earlier about the whole, it doesn't really matter so much what you use. You'll still learn the art.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of things that carry over, not just technically, but even more like artistically, that will carry over between everything, especially if you're talking stuff like, camera work, sound editing, all this kind of stuff, just editing, whatnot, that all carries over.
Practice is the most important thing.
Same banana.
What? Did you say banana? What?
That's just an expression we use. No, when things are same, we just say, yeah, it's the same banana.
What type of expression is that?
What?
I've never heard. People call me a banana because I spend so much time in like America, Canada, and Australia. They say I'm yellow on the outside and white on the inside. That's what they call me, the banana.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, my advice for this dude who wants to start animation, even though we meet every day in class, just finish your plates during this week. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
we're gonna learn eventually, you know.
Keep doing it. Yeah, keep doing it.
Yeah. Just focus your academics first, because we're gonna learn animation.
Here's the thing. Shaney goes, can you sometimes consider facial expressions maybe vital in scenes to understand the emotions of the character? Basically, do you think facial expressions, especially in Minecraft characters, are important to tell stories?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Alright, here's my take on facial expressions. The mouth, like I've seen Black Plasma Studios get criticized because of the mouth, but
Yeah.
I don't mind about that, because they say that eyes are the windows of the soul, and eyes are the most expressive part of the avatar. If the eyes are good, you don't really care about the mouth or anything else.
Yeah.
It's just the eyes.
Yeah,
Because with
bro.
my Ender Wish video, I was able to give the Ender Queen various expressions without even showing her mouth. It's just eyes and eyebrows.
Yeah, eyebrows. Big.
Like I was
would
able to
say-
show if she was angry, scared. Yeah.
The thing
you
with that
look
as
at,
well is that the comments on Black Plasma saying that in Songs of War, I think Zaminations did an edit of one of your shots and like added a more expressive face, and that's cool and all. Like that argument does stand to an extent, because on your end you've got limited time and a limited budget in order to get this thing done. So you got the thing done, and while I'm watching it, I'm like, that facial expression does not destroy the scene. Like I'm still like kind of going with the story. Like that doesn't take me out of it. That's fine. On the other hand, Zamination's face is a lot more expressive, and it does say the emotions a lot better. And if Zam is able to do it, like, is Black Plasma able to do it? That's the thing. And also, if Zam is able to create a better animation than Black Plasma, that doesn't mean like, oh, Zamination is a much better animator than Black Plasma. Even if that may be true, it's like, okay, Black Plasma just hasn't practiced enough in order to get to that level when they can do all those faces whenever they want. Like, I'm sure if you wanted to do that, you would put in the time to learn how to do that and then actually do it.
Yeah, I would say in that particular example that was provided where there's the faces, to me, I saw it as a pretty styled. Expression-wise, I thought the expressions
it's
were
really
pretty much the same.
Hmm.
One just had thinner eyebrows, more of a curvy mouth, and I don't really like the curvy mouths. I thought the kind of like mouths that come to a point doesn't really fit the rest of the style. Everything in Minecraft has the kind of right angles and the squares and the rectangles. So to me, I try to keep the mouths a little more rectangular.
Yeah.
But what I was, rewinding a little bit to what the actual question was about, like the facial animation stuff. One thing you'll notice about facial animations is it is vital for getting like emotion and stuff across. If you look at movies like WALL-E, even these characters, they're just like robots. They're very big on expression. They have, you know, WALL-E's little eye things can kind of rotate and bend and go to different angles depending on how he's feeling. A character like Eve will have, you know, her little digital display on her eyes will change and stuff. So, you know, being humans, we look at other facial expressions to get the emotions across. So it's definitely important to start with the kind of the eyes, the emotion there, the faces.
After Infinity is here. After Infinity comes in, goes, wait, what did he say? After Infinity comes in, goes, lol, that other face look horrible. Hot garbage.
And that's the thing. Some of it is also just style opinions.
Yeah.
What might look good to one person might just not to another.
For sure. I get a bunch of comments sometimes saying, oh, why are you doing it in Minecraft style? The Minecraft style doesn't look good. But I feel like that's very, very subjective to what looks good and what doesn't. Like, oh, am I going to make an entire story just to please you? Who are you, you know?
My teacher doesn't like my Minecraft style, but other teachers like it.
Nice. What is the difference between a Minecraft animation and just some blocky animation? Let's say hypothetically, you create a 3D animation from scratch, nothing to do with Minecraft, and you decide to go with a blocky style. So you create your own graphics, you create your own blocks, and you create your own things, and you upload that. What's the difference between that and then me going into Minecraft, retexturing everything using a texture pack, and then uploading that? Like, is it still Minecraft anymore?
People probably still say it's Minecraft. With things like Hytale coming out, people will probably still have a similar view on Hytale as it is with Minecraft.
Because Hytale is like stylized like Minecraft, you know.
Yeah.
Blocks
Hytale's
and
a little more detailed, but everything like there's still blocks and cubes and stuff.
Isn't it? Do you find it weird that people are calling it like a Minecrafty style? Like that Minecraft has just been exploded so much that people associate anything blocky with instantly they'll say it's Minecrafty.
Well, I think
Actually, yeah.
I think people know where Hytale's coming from, and that they want to kind of do the what Minecraft should have been doing kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it makes sense in that case because they came from Minecraft. They run the biggest Minecraft server, and they wanted to kind of make the bigger Minecraft, the Minecraft that the players have been wanting for a long time.
Yeah. Just going through the comments now.
Lighting contributes to story. Someone's asking about the lighting a little bit.
Someone did ask about the lighting. I can't find the comment.
Sini Lads just recently asking if the lighting contributes to telling the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does, but not much, I guess.
The way I'd phrase it is that bad lighting takes away from the story, while good lighting is like average lighting is average, and then you could use lighting to tell the story, but only in very specific cases.
Yeah.
For me, I'm really big on lighting, so I'm a little more on lighting can help tell the story. Pretty much, I mean, technically everything helps tell the story. This is not, you know, if you're putting this thing together and you're kind of directing the whole project, which is why, to me, I look at Songs of War as I'm the director, I'm not just the animator. I do a lot of animation. I did most of the animation, but I see myself as the director. I'm putting everything together. Everything helps tell the story. The camera, you know, positions tell the story. The way the camera moves helps tell the story. The light absolutely helps tell the story. You can use light to like make a subject stand out. You can use light to get emotion, to get mood. You can make, you know, the background really dark and your character standing in a little bit of light to make them feel lonely. You can make the colors have a lot of contrast to make things, you know, stand out or to feel emotion. So absolutely, yeah, pretty much everything.
But that's not necessary in every single shot that you do.
No, I mean, you can go something with just full ambient occlusion, no lights and all, and you can still tell your story.
Yeah. It's just when you do bad lighting, it takes away from the story.
Yeah.
And I think when the lighting contrasts the purpose of the scene, like if it's a sad scene, then the lighting is really bright. Yeah, that's bad lighting.
Yeah. There's also a lot of people who don't understand how cameras work and like what exposure is or everything. A few people on our Discord server were showing some renders inside a cave and there being lava, and the main character was standing somewhere in the darkness, and they wanted the main character to be seen, but everything was so dark that you could only see the lava. And that makes sense because if you focus the exposure on the lava so you can see the lava's so bright, everything else has to be dark, right? But if your main focus is the character, how's anyone supposed to see that?
Yeah, exactly.
Miguel, we already did talk about COPPA. Once we end the stream, you'll be able to wind this back.
Just put timestamps, you know.
Yeah.
I got a kind of question for both of you guys.
Okay.
All right.
I'm seeing in chat. I'm just wondering, do you guys have either other animations, either Minecraft animations, or just not Minecraft animations that you think kind of inspire you to kind of create these things that you use? Maybe not so much as reference, but you look at that and be like, wow, yeah, that's really cool. I want to do that, or you learn things from it or whatnot.
Specifically animations or like anything?
Anything.
Okay.
Any like video, movies, shows, games.
For me, it's video games. Total War is like one of my biggest influences. Because it's like, you know, imagine what if two big factions fought each other in a massive battlefield. Like, that was my very idea for Enderwin. Like, if I haven't played that game of Total War, I don't even know if I would have come up with the idea for Enderwin.
Right.
And yeah, some anime like JoJo and Demon Slayer. Yeah. JoJo, I used so many references from it just for fun for Enderwin.
I clicked on your Facebook once and scrolled down and it was all just JoJo.
Yeah.
For me, anime, if you were asking me specifically animation wise, that's not Minecraft related, it would be anything to do with Monty the guy who created Ruby.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yep. I think that's like, I can't think of any other animations that would have affected me other than that. But for me, one of the most impacting factors in the way that I animate Levaslier is my own combat experience. In that I do martial arts in real life, and I participate in a lot of fights. Cool. Not like I don't go out beating up people. Like I'm in a trained environment. And it's safe. It's safe. Okay, it's like a very useful thing. And because I'm so obsessed with learning different martial arts and like different ways to swing a sword or some like fist technique or whatever, I want to be able to express that in animation as well to show proper combat. Like that's my main thing.
That's cool that you mentioned that. Like you took something from real life and then that kind of inspires what you do here. Because that's what someone like Monty, he was really into like DDR and dancing and stuff. And he took that kind of dance choreography and he kind of integrated that with his fight animation. And I think that's one of the reasons his fights always stand out more than most people's fights, is because his fights were a dance. They were like rhythmic. They had this nice flow to them and everything. And you wouldn't think of like, oh, I'm going to animate. What should I do to learn animating? I should just be an animator. But he took his dancing. He took his dancing hobby, which is off to the side, and he used that to kind of integrate it into his fights and stuff. And that was really cool. Yeah. There's also here's oh wait no I watch a lot of anime as well. I'm sure the anime has a big influence on the way I tell stories. Here's something that I do that really helps tell stories. It's whenever you watch something that you like, whether it's a TV show, a film, an anime, or reading a book, and you're really into the story. What I like to do is implement my own characters into that story to see what they would do in that situation. And then not only do I understand the character and their actions a little bit more, but I can also see, oh, that's a good plot. I could probably steal that plot and just like change it around a little bit. Swap some character names around. There you go.
Yeah. You know what they say? Good art. What was the sentence? I can't even say it properly now. It was like good artists' copy. Fuck, I don't even remember what to say anymore. Whatever.
Oh, is it like good artists copy, great artists steal?
Yeah, I think it was something along the lines of that.
Yeah. That's not the quote, but it's something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. One of the things for me was Star Wars: The Clone Wars. There's an old animated show. That was one that, and it's interesting if a lot of my animators will know this because I use that a lot as reference. And one thing about that is if people go back and watch Star Wars: The Clone Wars, they'll probably start seeing a lot of similarities in how I kind of do my stuff. And it was very much like Star Wars: The Clone Wars isn't the Pixar, it's not the DreamWorks, it's not very like bubbly and bouncy and stretchy. The characters are actually more like it's like a live action. It's like a very high quality animated thing that's kind of emulating more live action, at least by the end of it. So for something like that, I always try to aspire towards that, where it's like this style of being a little more real, being a little more kind of grounded, and that was what always inspired me. So when people always tell me like to have things stretchy and bouncy, to me I thought it just didn't fit like the style I was going for. Because real people don't stretch when you turn your head. Your head doesn't like squish when you turn to the left. So for me, I just thought that was a little weird. But there is absolutely something like Pixar. It uses squash and stretch, and it's great. They were amazing animators. The
I think
Pixar,
it's just how you use the squash and stretch.
Yeah, how you use it, when you use it, if you use it at all. Like I don't probably use it at all. I don't use the squash and stretch at all, hardly. But there's definitely principles that carry over between animation. But that one particular feature is one that I never gravitated towards because things like Clone Wars what inspired me.
Right. Candy the Puppy asks, I like doing karate in real life. And hang on, no, that's not a question. Faclon, rather, asks, do you need experience in combat or dancing to do fight animations? I think with that, you'll notice that if you watch something like the Clone Wars, the way they fight, okay, granted, lightsabers are not real, but they're inspired by real weapons, right, like a sword. If you watch the way someone fights with a sword in real life, it's going to be vastly different than the way a Jedi fights with a lightsaber. Even in movies, where it's depicting combat versus in real life combat, there is a difference. Learning real combat is a good thing because you understand body dynamics and how force is generated from a punch and whatnot, and you know how to animate that. You know that when I'm punching in real life, I don't just throw my hand out. I need to twist my entire body and put my body weight into it. When you animate that, it looks a lot better. However, in real life, when you're doing actual fighting, you don't want to show your opponent what you're about to do. In animating, there's a principle of animation called exactly. There's a principle called anticipation where you have to show the viewer what someone's about to do and then actually do the action. So there is a difference in real life and animating fight scenes.
Even like posing. Posing is a big thing. If you actually have done, I did fencing for a little while.
Nice.
So when you do fencing, you learn that you stand with your body to the side, like so you're a smaller target, and you have your sword to the side. So when I see people kind of posing a character and they're standing like face forward with their sword out in front, I'm like, that's not how you hold a sword and stuff.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, when you have those experiences and you physically do it, you kind of picture yourself in it. And also, you guys have probably done this as well. Sometimes when you're animating or posing, you get up, you back away from your computer, you stand up, and you like kind of act something out. And you're like, okay, how would I do this? How would I fall down on the ground and reach for my weapon or something? And you kind of like fall down on the ground and do it out. Like, oh, okay, that's how you do it.
I've recorded a video of me doing that, of me just like dropping on the ground.
Animation reference.
It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone asked motion capture.
Oh, it's a good topic.
Yeah. Were you here when I was talking about motion capture?
No, you mentioned you were going to talk about it at one point when we first got to talking. But
yeah. Okay. So, a few weeks ago, me and my guys met up for a little R&D project where we wanted to make it so that any Minecraft animator out there can do motion capture. So we're like, okay, that's the goal. How the hell are we going to do it? We know nothing about computer programming. We just want to look into it to see if it can even be done, right? And we decided, okay, well, let's look for Connect motion capture. Right? How do we do it with Connect? Turns out Connect has been discontinued, so that's not going to be accessible, so we scrapped that idea. Even better, however...
Connect.
Yeah, even better, however, we found some software called OpenPose. I believe that's what it's called. OpenPose is software that allows you to motion capture through your webcam. Problem is, it's shit.
Yeah.
So,
He told me that.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. And so I was like, oh, because it's open source, someone could probably download that. And if they're good at tech, they could probably optimize the code a little bit to make it so that it would be fully functional for anyone with a webcam. And it would be as simple as that. Furthermore, if you could optimize that, imagine if you could optimize it so much to the point where you could put it onto your phone. So all you would need to do motion capture animations is to set up your phone on something and then do a thing. That'd be amazing. Except that's just like a very hypothetical thing. We don't have any of that stuff.
Have you worked with motion capture stuff before?
You have?
No, have you?
Have I? I've done a thing when I was at school. We set up a little motion capture thing with multiple cameras. I think we had like 16 cameras or some shit. In this big like studio lobby room. But it's not recreatable by the standard person.
Right, so it's like a full studio setup kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I worked with motion capture a little bit in Minecraft even. One of our animators had what was it called? It was like a full body motion capture suit thing. He had the whole thing and he had the motion capture stuff. I'm gonna see if I can actually pull up a video.
You're talking about the suit with the balls, right? I mean the balls on the suit, not balls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me see if I can find You guys keep talking for a moment. I'm gonna look through some of my videos. I think I have a few references of motion capture, and if I can find it, I can talk a little bit about my experiences with it.
Rain,
You've
done motion capture. Yeah, I was about to say you've done motion capture.
Really bad. It's really bad.
I know.
I cringe every time I rewatch that part.
Yeah, I was about to say that was basically our outcome. I was gonna see if I can find a video on it though.
How did you do the motion capture there? Someone just wrote Black Spasm Studios. I'm sorry, I just had to call that out.
Oh, backspasm. Hey.
Yeah.
So if I send you this video, will you be able to pull this up on chat?
Okay.
Or sorry, on the.
Is it a video on YouTube? Because I don't want to get copy striked.
Yeah, it's just a YouTube video.
I can watch it. I can watch it with like nobody seeing it. Oh no! Do you know what? You could probably just dump it in the chat.
I just put it in chat. Yeah.
Yeah, just dump it in the chat. Yeah.
There's no music or sound or anything. If you want to pull that up on chat real quick.
Cool.
If you can pull it on chat, I can talk about that briefly.
Cool.
Let me know if you get that up, so I can kind of talk about it as it shows up.
Homer is Black Plasm. Sorry. What? Is motion capture expensive? Yeah. Right now, yes, it is, because you have to get the suit and everything, and it's a hassle to set up. Yes, it is. I see that a lot of you guys are asking me to invite other people onto the stream. If you guys want me to have other people on the stream and interview them and have some fun with them, hey, I see that someone's asking me to get good times with Scar. He's one of the best builders ever. Hey, I could probably go build a city with him on a stream. So if you have any recommendations for people you want me to collab with, join our Discord server. Link is in the description. Just join in, and then if there's anyone you're like, hey, you should work with this guy, just let me know. I'll get in contact with him.
Yeah, I tried posting the link in the stream chat, but it won't let me post links, so I posted it in the Discord chat.
The hell? Oh, what? The hell? I'll repost it onto. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Hang on, if it's your video, it's fine, right? Because I'm not gonna copy strike for your video. No. Okay. I'll show you this on stream. Okay.
It's an unlisted video anyway. It's not even a public video.
Okay. Here you go. This is This is the motion capture test.
Yeah. Okay. So this was one of our. So we had one of our animators, Nitrox. He got a motion capture suit. It even had the fingers and everything, but for Minecraft, you didn't need the fingers. You can take those off.
Yeah.
And we did little tests with it. So this is actually, if it's on screen, what you're seeing is motion captured. We had this rig and we converted the motion capture data onto the rig, and we did these kind of like basic idle loops where the people just can't stand and walk around. We were thinking like, oh, this will make the background loops that normally are kind of tedious to do look a little more natural, give them a little more life. But immediately you can tell it was motion captured. You can see that the proportions aren't quite right, and like the way their legs are kind of like
crouching,
always a little bent. Yeah, and he always looked kind of odd. So we tried it. What we found was, for Minecraft, the proportions of the
hard
Minecraft
to make mocap for Minecraft.
Yeah, our bodies aren't like Minecraft rigs. I wish I could have showed the
Minecraft
video.
People don't have necks. That's
Exactly. We have necks. We don't have, our arms are a lot longer. So what we did, I wish I could show the initial output when we just took the motion capture data and put it on the rig. The initial output had the character like bending his head all sideways and up, and his like head was getting all twisted, and his arms were all intersecting, and we also had problems where things would be like, you guys might know a little about this stuff like quaternions. For the rotations, it would get confused, and suddenly it would like spin around 180, and suddenly the character's now inverted upside down, and they continue walking, but their head's backwards or something.
Jesus.
Things would, so it was a kind of horror thing that we had to deal with. We tried cleaning up after a while, but even with a lot of cleaning, a lot of time, it's a very different look. You can very much tell, oh, that was motion captured. There's something kind of pleasing about hand animating things. You can express things exactly how you want them to be. You can get all the motions and the timing and the pausing and then the anticipation, all that stuff just fine without motion capture at all, hardly, after we did these little tests.
So
it's in the background occasionally, but
so you did use it in the background. I was about to ask.
It is, yeah. I was about to say, there actually, now that you've seen this, if you're watching this stream, keep an eye out for this little dude walking around. You may have seen him in some of our existing animations in the background. We always kind of put these ones further in the back because they look so weird.
I was about to say that would work.
Yeah, and they do work as just kind of general background filling. There is some nice kind of motion to them, but you can clearly tell like that was a motion captured dude. It's almost like too smooth. Everything's always this constant kind of motion, whereas there's kind of like styles that come out of hand animating, whereas motion capture, you don't really get that style anymore. You just get kind of this kind of weirdness. So
I did get asked where would you use motion capture the most, and I like how you instantly went for the idle poses. Rain instantly went for like a kung fu scene, or was it karate? It was something like that. I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
It was karate. Yeah.
It's more of a mix. I think it's Taekwondo if I remember.
Was that you doing the thing though? Was it tracking you?
No, I just found it online. Like,
okay. I thought you were doing the thing. Yeah, but someone asked me where you would use the motion capture, and I said it's probably better used in idles rather than in complex fight scenes.
Yeah.
My reason being when you have two people having a conversation with each other and that's the only thing that you can see, that is the only thing that you can see. And so any little minute detail in human movement, like if you film two people standing and talking with each other, humans don't stand perfectly still. If you lift your hand out, it wiggles a little bit, right? And so when you motion capture that, you get like the little bits of wiggle. That's very natural.
The weight as well.
Sorry?
Like the weight, if you have someone kind of like shift their weight to the side, that's really hard to kind of recreate by
Exactly.
hand. but the
Exactly.
motion capture gets that one.
So that's where I would use mocap. But in a complex fight scene, I might have my character do something that nobody can realistically do in real life, like a triple backflip or something. That's not possible.
Yeah.
So there's no point motion capturing that for me.
Something like Ruby, they use motion capture for their dialogue scenes. And one thing they have the advantage of as well is that they can motion capture like 4 people simultaneously having a conversation, and then that saves them a whole lot of time because they just get the 4 people in the room, they act it out, they talk, and boom, they've got the whole animation for that entire dialogue scene. All they gotta do is polish it up a little bit.
Yeah.
However, we actually considered motion capture for Songs of War at one point, but we found out the places like dialogue and talking where it might have been kind of convenient, those are also pretty easy to do by hand anyway because there's not that much going on. And I don't foresee us ever really using motion capture for Minecraft. One of the other things it does help for is things like fingers. We're lucky that we, at least if you guys don't use fingers, we don't use fingers.
I don't use fingers.
You don't have to deal with all the extra little finger bones that you got to deal with.
Yeah.
Which cuts down the amount you need to animate a lot if you don't have to deal with fingers. And
Minecraft fingers are weird.
Have you seen the picture of the Steve with like the human fingers on the end?
What the fuck? No.
I mean, have you seen
What
Steve
is
with,
that?
like,
Sounds like a nightmare feel.
It is absolute nightmare feel.
Dude, could you imagine if somebody modeled... You know how you can customize the models in Minecraft, right? So, like, you can change the diamond sword into, like, a 3D model. Could you imagine if somebody changed that to, like, a real-life hand and started playing Minecraft with just, like, a real fist there?
Oh, God. Anyone in the chat, if you guys saw that, it was in our Discord about, like, 2 or 3 weeks ago. If anyone can find that for me and just DM it to me. Oh, Dan, I think it's sent to you as well. Yeah. There's this terrifying photo of this Steve, but with, like, the kind of Minecraft fingers, but with, like, actual fingers. Oh, man, it was glorious.
Okay, well, who wins? Steve with Steve with real fingers or Steve with real-life face? Just, like,
What about Steve with
square
real-life
man.
What about feet?
Oh my god! Dude, he's already on that. I almost said his name.
Oh, Phoenix? Yeah, Phoenix, I think, was the one who made it. Or at least found it, was spreading it.
Angelo goes, imagine motion capturing your toes to Minecraft feet.
No, imagine watching Minecraft feet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I found... Jesus.
Just drop it in the guest chat.
I'll put this in the guest chat.
Sure.
Prepare yourself.
Holy shit. He's like half black as well because of the shadows. Oh, what the hell? Hang on, I gotta switch the
Well, I like because his arm comes to just like a right angle kind of stop, and then the fingers just kind of poke out in both directions. Oh man, that was a good little.
Don't understand how Minecraft fingers are supposed to work on rigs. I think Angelo, one of our moderators, Angelo has his Minecraft rig. And it's actually, if anyone here is using Cinema 4D and they want a powerful rig, Angelo's rig is now 50% off for Black Friday. But his rig has some pretty powerful fingers. And I was looking at his fingers, I'm like, how do they even work? Like, I feel like they only work on specific skins. Like, if you were to drop Rainimator's skin onto that, it's just like look funky.
Oh, that was glorious.
Okay, real quick, do you guys mind if I do a quick plug for TubeBuddy real quick?
Go for it.
Hey, Red the Animator is here. I've seen your name before, Red the Animator. Okay.
Songs of War animators.
Yeah, well, plenty of animators here. Okay, guys, real quick. It's Black Friday. That means everything is on discount, including TubeBuddy. What is TubeBuddy? Well, if you are a YouTuber, listen up. TubeBuddy is a tool that simplifies your SEO. What is SEO? Okay, when you search up Japanese restaurant on Google, what is the first result? Whatever that first result is, look at the second result. Why is the second result not on number 1? Answer is, number 1 has better SEO than number 2. So, how is that useful to you? As a YouTuber, you want your video to pop up number 1 whenever someone searches something, because they'll likely click on that one. Download TubeBuddy for free. It is available for all modern browsers, whether you're using Chrome, Firefox, Edge, or Safari, so that you can focus on doing what you do and making a good video, while TubeBuddy handles the SEO for you to make sure that you can get seen. It is free for all modern browsers. However, because it is Black Friday right now, the advanced packages that have all the extra features, those are all 50% off. So use the link in the description right now. It's an affiliate link. Click that and you can get started with TubeBuddy. There's literally no excuse because it is free. So if you want to grow your channel,
Is it a
that's the way to
lifetime
do it.
subscription if you buy it?
So what'd you say?
Is it a lifetime subscription if you buy it?
Okay. There's a really important thing here. Really important thing. Okay, guys. If you sign up for TubeBuddy, get the free one first to make sure it works for you, okay? Once you sign up for it, about a month later, TubeBuddy will offer you a one-time offer, where you can get a lifetime license. So you want to get that. It only lasts for a few days, and you can't miss that. If you miss it, you'll never get a lifetime license again. Like, I missed it, and I regret that dearly, because that is so good. So yeah, there is a lifetime license offer, but you have to wait a month. Or you can get the monthly subscription on Black Friday today, and you get a monthly thing for the entire year. Like, so it's going to be 50% off for the entire year, I think.
Nice.
Yeah. Again, link is in the description for TubeBuddy. Free download.
Yeah, a lot of us in BPS use TubeBuddy for a while to get the it shows cool info on, like, when you look at YouTube videos, you see all like their tags and stuff that you
Yeah, you get ideas from other YouTubers as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably make a video showing an SEO strategy for 2020. Because people download TubeBuddy and they get so obsessed with getting the score correct, and that's just not what TubeBuddy is for. So I'll probably make a video like showing how to actually use it. Okay, we got 10 minutes left. Okay. This is one for Black Plasma. Oh, no, you know what? It's one for both of you. Shaney asked earlier, do you do visual effects? That's basically what he's been trying to ask. So After Effects stuff. Because I asked you this when we were in private chat.
Yeah, we had this call recently.
Yeah.
Do you want me to kind of just go over that again?
Sure, go.
Yeah, so in my case, you've seen Songs War Episode 1, or if you've seen Songs War Episode 1, or the trailer, you've probably seen a lot of like effects, like all the energy balls and shockwaves and fire breaths from the dragons and stuff. I tend to do all my effects in scene. I think it's just a personal preference. I find it's nice doing the effects in scene because it saves you having to do things like motion tracking, masking, rotoscoping and stuff. You just do it in the scene and it's there. If you can make it work there, to me that saves time. However, I'm familiar with people like Ninja Charlie T, who does a lot in After Effects. He takes pretty much all his shots through After Effects and does a lot of just stuff in there, different layers and things. To me, that seems like one extra step. If I can avoid that and make it look nice in the scene, I just can not worry about it and move on. So yeah, I do all my effects pretty much 99.9% of effects in Blender. I do have After Effects and I do use it very, very sparingly.
I feel that everyone who's curious should watch your behind the scenes as well, because while I was watching the actual episode and I saw the energy ball, I was like, oh, you could do that in After Effects just by doing this and that. But then when I saw your breakdown of it and how you did it in Blender, I was like, oh wait, of course you could just do that in Blender. It's as simple as that. Just make it spin a little bit. There you go. So
yeah, or you see
I overcomplicate a lot of things just because I love After Effects.
One less software you need to buy.
Yeah, more software as well. Yeah. Hey, wait, hang on. If anyone wants a free software just like After Effects, there is one by Blackmagic called Fusion. I don't use it, but it's there. Rain, do you do After Effects on your stuff? It looks like you do.
Yeah, I use After Effects.
Yeah, it looks like you do. Quite heavily.
Yeah.
But you just... When I look at your stuff, I'm thinking you just put like 2D animation graphics on there?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And I just maybe color grade it so it fits better.
Right, I mean, color grading, everyone does color grading.
I think one reason we're in Blender, I don't know, you guys both use Cinema 4D. Blender has this really nice built-in compositor.
Yeah, we don't have the compositor.
Yeah, that's a huge help for us. Because we can do all kinds of like color grading and bloom and all this nice mist and all kinds of stuff straight in Blender. So I think that's one reason for me. I just try to make it look good there. I pretty much get my final. Well, I do get my final image in Blender. I make it look good there, and I move on. I do much of that through compositing.
Pixel Zenimation asks, the Prime song flares are made in After Effects, right?
Yep, that is pretty much the one of the two things I did in After Effects.
There you go.
Optical flares by Video Copilot.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. You got to get that one.
The other one, if you're curious, the other one I used was heat distortion. There's a few times I have things like lava or fire where I have that kind of like heat distortion thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of awkward to do in Blender.
I was curious on how you did the fire, and I thought you did that in After Effects, but you said you were going to reveal that in the future behind the scenes episode.
Yeah, there's a flaming sword.
No,
and
like the
there's
fire on the
dragon
ground, I mean.
breaths. Yeah, so then the fire on the ground, that was all... you'll see that later in the series. I do a little bit of a breakdown into behind the scenes.
Sure.
Although for specific effects, I may later do tutorials. The behind the scenes I do for Songs of War are meant to be a little more broad, in case you're not really interested in the technical side, and you don't if you don't know what nodes are, then you're not going to care about which Musgrave node I use to get which mapping coordinates and stuff. None of that's going to matter if you're just kind of basically watching. So maybe eventually I'll do more technical breakdowns.
Sure.
But,
yeah.
there will be a basic breakdown of some of my effects in future behind the scenes.
Jesus Christ! I just opened up my Discord and I got greeted with this image. Hang on a second.
Oh, another.
I just got greeted with this image. There it is. There it is. What the hell? Did you make that?
No, that was one of our riggers.
Jesus Christ!
A joke based on they saw that image I posted earlier. And they remade it in as a Minecraft rig.
Imagine if they made that downloadable. Minecraft real hands rig.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We know who's gonna download that and use it. We all know.
Realistic hands and feet.
Yeah, realistic hands and feet. He's stepping up his game.
Yeah, I get some toes going. Have you seen the ones where people use like actual hair simulation for hair?
Yeah, that's the same guy though.
I see this dude on Twitter. I forgot his name. He doesn't speak English, but his Minecraft renders are very realistic.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I've seen him as well.
That dude.
Yeah. I always find that style a little bit much. I kind of like the blend in between, where it's like still Minecraft hair. Maybe it can move a little more naturally, but the hair simulation I always thought was a little odd.
It blows my mind how much went into Fallen Kingdom and like the ones that came afterwards, because like that came out years ago, but the cloth simulation was there, the hair simulation was there, like all those simulations were already there, even though they came out like at this point.
Yeah, they were
kind
of like the pioneers of this whole kind of Minecraft animation stuff way back before most people were doing it.
For sure.
People like Slamacow.
Yeah. I wonder what happened to Slamacow.
He started making his non-Minecraft series thing.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he uploading?
No, he's not
very
uploading.
Infrequently. I think episode 1 came out about half a year ago or so. He did something in the clouds. It's like some sky, something in the sky or something.
I'm on Slamacow's channel, and it just says, "Oh wait, no, the farmer in the sky." Oh yeah.
Yeah, the farmer in the sky. Yeah, I don't think it's on his channel though.
No, it's not.
Episode 1, I think is on someone else's channel.
Well, there you go. I mean, that is a good way to wrap it up, because the entire point that I was trying to get across in the stream was to say that if you ever start animating in Minecraft, you never know where that'll get you. And it's a great idea to start animating, because you could potentially be like Slamacow animating some of his, I don't know what that is, but it's like some of his own animation projects, and I'm sure he loves doing it. And of course, Arbiter, you have your own you have your own animation studio. You get to do what you love as well, and you just never know where Minecraft animations can get you.
Yeah, it's important to have some goals. I think that's some people start. I don't think they even know like why they're starting or what they really want to do.
I'm pretty sure that anyone who wants to start already has something in mind.
I see a lot of people though that they might be wanting to go down more of like a Pixar route or something. They want to work at Pixar.
Right.
And then there's certain things that you might want to start doing, like using like Graph Editor and stuff. But then there's also people who might never really want to work at an animation studio, and maybe want to work more in like game animation or something.
Yeah.
Which is very different, or completely different. They enjoy like the visual effects side or the storytelling or something. Like for me, my goal isn't to become an animator, so I'm not really interested in just going full into animating, becoming a Pixar animator. I would never really like to work at Pixar doing animation.
Yeah, same.
So that's never been my goal.
I feel like a lot of people do have the goal of just getting a whole bunch of subs off of doing this as well. I would recommend against that. But I don't think I have enough time to get into that here. Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Shaney's got one really good question that I do think that we should take. How much of an impact has Minecraft animations had on your everyday life?
Lives? What live?
Minecraft animation is your life. Rain,
Yo,
how much of an impact has Minecraft animation had on your life?
it's a fun hobby to do. So yeah.
Well, I mean, for you, it's got to be more than just a hobby, right? Because you get paid by YouTube, probably quite a lot.
Yeah, I guess it helps pay for my tuition fee at school.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
if it
support
helps
my
pay for
parents.
your tuition, that's a really big deal.
That's cool. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of expensive. I guess the biggest impact of Minecraft animation for me is I've been able to help out my parents. I can sustain myself,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
and I
yeah.
can buy them gifts. So yeah, there's that.
The biggest impact for me, and I think a lot of the viewers who have seen the breakdown of why I'm doing Levaslier would know how deep it means to me. But for me, it's just quite literally has saved my life, because this was the story that I made when I was down in the dumps and I was really depressed. And it's because of the characters in this story that have given me hope and like given me something to work towards. So quite literally, it is my life. It has saved my life. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind that goes back to kind of like why we do it almost, you know.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things we tell these stories. We make these things because there's a passion, because we want to tell these stories.
The other day, someone asked, how do you stay motivated to do the animations? I threw the question back. I said, what can stop our motivation from doing these animations?
Well, for me, the only thing that's probably gonna stop my motivation is when I find something else that I like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, distractions.
Yeah, mostly a distraction. Like, you know, one of the reasons my work is getting slower because I spend some time just practicing how to draw because I really wanna make.
Right. You died out at the end there. Not sure what you said.
What?
So come again. You lagged out. Come again.
Oh yeah, because I was saying that probably the biggest distraction I have in my Minecraft animation career is that I might find another interest, and that interest is probably making manga, because I really like
Right.
to draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be it. It's if we don't find anything else, and this is the thing that we love doing so much, we're just gonna keep doing it. And for people asking how do we find the motivation to keep doing it, it's the thing that we love to do. It's gonna be very difficult for us to stop doing it. That's what I would say back. So instead of asking what motivates you to keep going, what is the thing that could stop us, is what I would ask more. Okay.
Yeah.
We've reached the 2-hour mark, which is the regular streaming time on this channel. So I think I'm gonna wrap things up now. Before you guys go, by the way, please do leave a like rating on this video because it does help the channel out greatly. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon. Now that the Levaslier animated trailer has been completed, I have a lot more time to be able to make a lot more videos. So I know I took a break for like half a year on making videos. I will be back to making more Minecraft tutorials and videos showing you guys the behind the scenes of how we do things and explaining it so that you guys can also do it. So if you'd like to see that, make sure you subscribe. There you go.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys like to say?
Oh,
No.
Oh,
There's
I do
one
have to
thing-
thank you guys as well, because the end of your goal for TeamWnJ was to get to 10,000 subscribers, and I was expecting December to be a hard fight to get like the last few subscribers. And lo and behold, here I am collaborating with someone with 3 million subscribers and 1 million subscribers when I'm at 10,000. So thank you to both of you for like taking this.
well, thank you for hosting it.
Yeah.
Better host than I would have been.
yeah.
I was gonna say one thing we were even talking about the other day when we were on our call. If you guys enjoyed the stream, you know, we can always be down to do more.
Yep. Well, not only are
There's,
we gonna do more, we can find even like other YouTubers as well.
Yeah,
because
because
everyone here wants to see, you know, the collab with like Freddy Sol or whatever. Guys, if you want other people to join us, join our Discord server and start like, don't dump names, like engage with me and then like tell me whoever you want to join in. That'd be cool. Freddy Saw would be cool.
What he means is tag you a whole bunch.
Freddy Saw is cool. We're gonna if I ever get Freddy Saw in, I'm gonna name the stream Minecraft Animation Streamers bracket Minecraft Best Animations.
Don't tell him I sent you that.
He watched the stream. I'm not sure if he heard it though. Alrighty. Well, thank you everyone for joining. I'm gonna be ending the stream now. Anyone who's already on Discord, I'll see you there. I'll probably chat a little bit. Alrighty. Thanks everyone. Cheers.
Thanks for watching. See you.
All right. Thank you for watching, everyone.